What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Underdog Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Nolan Skeen, alongside Antonio Fiore, Salestrina. Gentlemen, how the heck are we?
Good. Sal,
Antonio,
faceless.
what are you talking about? I have a face, I think.
Yeah, he does. You have a face.
What
I'm
if the
pretty
next
sure-
time? What if the next time we saw Sal, like his face was just replaced with a monitor that said Sal's iPhone?
with like this picture on it, like the picture
Yeah.
of Sal on it.
I just turned into Plankton's wife.
All right. Well, we have a bunch of obviously not NFL
Random shit.
games to talk about anymore, but we do have a bunch of little things that are happening in sports, and we like to talk about sports, so I figure we could probably get into it. Number one being, so Luka Doncic just played his game against the Mavericks. What do we think? I just saw the highlights. I didn't see the whole game, but I know he had a triple-double. So
They were not letting him get like 40 points on them. That was for sure. Like they were sending
Yeah.
2 or 3 defenders at him the whole game. But for that being the case, to have the game that he had, having a triple double and like 13 assists and 16 rebounds or whatever it was, like played a hell of a game. And that trade still doesn't make any sense in my mind. But
Yeah, he's definitely starting to settle in because he had a little bit of a slow start. But I mean,
people were on his ass like last week.
yeah, dude. I mean, it just
Like, dude,
takes time to get used to it.
Give him a second.
He probably didn't. He was probably just as surprised as the rest of us when he heard about this too. So he probably wasn't mentally prepared to be just.
To play with LeBron,
that
like,
too.
It's not easy. Like
Everyone's just calling you fat on the way out.
Yeah.
Like, what did you like? You just woke up one day and everyone's like, "You're fat. Get out of here."
Did you see that
He had a great game against the Nuggets too.
He had a great game against the Nuggets. He had like 18 in the first quarter.
Yeah, he had like 32, and I don't know if he had a triple double, but he had a bunch of rebounds and maybe 10 assists.
Did you see the Mavs GM was sitting there while he was warming up, like an hour before the game? They didn't say anything to each other. Like he was just sitting there, like watching him.
You saw
like,
that picture?
Weird. Yeah,
that was a cool fucking picture. Where he's like staring him down.
It's just like, I mean, I don't know. If you want to bet against Luka Doncic, that's a pretty crazy bet to make. But
I think by the time the playoffs rolls around, he's gonna be a monster. He's gonna be back to like what we're used to seeing from him.
Well, if you really think about it, what's the most rigged NBA Finals that would get the best ratings?
Lakers, Celtics.
You're gonna say half of what's right, Antonio.
What do you mean? Lakers, Celtics, of course. Or
I mean, Lakers,
Celtics, Warriors.
No. Lakers, Cavs.
I mean, yeah, that would be awesome.
LeBron versus his former team, and the underdog Cavs versus Luka and LeBron. I could easily see it.
Could you call them underdogs though? If they're
no, they would be viewed as the underdogs, but they would probably be the favorites in the series. To be honest,
who, the Cavs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they should be a favorite in that series.
I mean, the Lakers aren't scared of anyone in the West. You think they're scared of Memphis or Houston or the Thunder? I don't think so.
I'm not scared of them. I think
you're telling me Houston or Memphis beats them in a 7-game series?
No. I think Denver has a better chance than those two teams to go to the finals.
So what is it? OKC, Denver, and the Lakers, and I guess Golden State to make out of the West.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, I feel like the East is also just like, you know how every year, like, whatever team LeBron was on was never the 1 seed, but you knew like they were just always going to be there in the finals. It didn't matter how many wins Toronto or fucking Atlanta got, or the Celtics. I think that's just how it is with the Celtics now. I think they're like, the Cavs are going to win a bunch of games, but it's just going to be like, once the Celtics see the Cavs in a playoff series, it's going to be like, oh, this isn't even close. Or the Cavs are going to get sent out early and the Celtics are going to play like a fucking shit team.
Did you see that Paul George quit his podcast yesterday or today?
Who fucking cares?
That's hilarious.
He's quitting his podcast to focus on basketball because he's been playing so bad lately.
What is he averaging? Is he horrible?
He's horrible this season, Antonio. He's like,
oh man.
He's like worse. He's like worse Tobias Harris, if you can believe that.
I mean, the Clippers are horrible.
They're 20
need-
and they're the Clippers.
They need to fold.
Oh, Embiid needs to get traded.
He
Yeah,
is
bro.
Oh
like,
yeah, he's on
yeah.
the Sixers now.
Yeah, I don't know why you said Clippers. That's why I said that.
He should have been gone out of there. I don't know. I feel like he's overdue now.
Yeah, dude.
He's-
I mean, Philly's horrible.
He's
They
never
have
gonna
no
win while
plan
he's
now.
there.
Yeah, no shot. Like send him to Miami or somewhere else, but he can't win with Philly. That's not happening.
He's not a winner in my mind. I don't really think it matters where he goes.
Embiid or George?
Embiid.
Either.
I mean,
Either.
yeah, either for sure. But like Embiid is just like, anytime they get into the big moment, he folds, and he has only played. He's 50-50 on whether or not he plays. Literally,
Well, a big part of his game is like trying to get foul calls, and when it comes to the playoffs, the refs aren't just gonna call like stupid like regular season fouls anymore. Like they're actually gonna
and he sits there and
ref
cries.
a realistic game.
Yeah. And then, did you see what the Mavs said today about Luka? That they had a problem with his beer and hookah habits. I was like,
I did see that, but like what like
it's crazy that he
if he-
beats you, gets a triple double on you, and then that's what you say the next day.
it's crazy.
And like, you remember that video of him like
Habits.
when they made it to the finals and he was drinking that beer and the like GM came up and just took it from him.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I
That
do
makes
remember
so
that.
much sense now. That
Yeah.
video makes so much sense now. When everyone saw that, remember everyone was like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah.
Now it just makes total sense that they're like trying to keep him from getting Tubby because he's just
That's
drinking
so
beer
funny.
and smoking hookah. But at the same time, he led you to the finals. I'm like, what does it matter?
I'd be like kind of pissed if I was him.
I'd be
Like,
so pissed.
I just got to the finals, and you're gonna like take a beer away from me, like in front of
It's
cameras.
not like he
too,
got
like-
them to the finals like 6 years ago. He got them to the
Yeah.
finals 2 years ago or a year ago.
last year.
Yeah. It's like, I don't really get it. Like, there's this like smear campaign against Luka Doncic. It doesn't make any sense to me.
We're gonna find out that like Adam Silver had Nico Harrison's kids like held up somewhere, and he had to make this trade.
That's crazy. I mean, that would make sense of like, that was a lot of the theories that people were saying that they did this to like generate hype with the league because it was like,
well, yeah,
dying.
because they were like, oh, we need the Lakers to be good. And
Honestly, like if we ever found out that that was a thing,
of course,
would that not be the biggest story of all time? Be like, at this player's personal expense and reputation, we had a buzz in the league for a week at a time where it was at its lowest. It's kind of funny if that were to happen. All right, let's talk about the Four Nations stuff. I mean, that kind of like,
Oh man, yeah.
to me, like
A.
going into it, everyone was like, this is like, no one even knew what it was. Obviously I knew what it was just because I'm involved in like, and I pay attention with the NHL, but like everyone was kind of like, yeah, it's a cool concept. It's cool to have something like this rather than like an all-star game where no one really cares. And I was saying to Sal, the fundamental piece of why the Four Nations worked so well is because the players care so much.
Yeah,
Like,
dude,
there's
this was like playoff level hockey. It was fucking awesome.
Those two games with USA and Canada were some of the best
That's-
hockey I've seen.
Dude, the first one where it was like obviously the fights, but then after that, dude, bodies were flying.
It was a very
that hit
physical
that
game.
McAvoy had on McDavid was insane, dude. This is an all-star game. It was sick.
Yeah, because
And
that's the thing. They didn't look at it as an all-star game. They looked at it as
And-
playing for their country,
right.
which is
And having that going on at the same time as the NBA All-Star like weekend thing made the NBA look so bad, dude.
I didn't
Because
see
everybody was
usually-
just complaining about the NBA, all the NBA All-Star events, and then you got everybody talking about hockey.
because you
and how
know what was very
great the
telling for
games
me.
were.
What's very telling for me is when the Four Nations games were going on, and then obviously the NBA All-Star game was going on too. I saw nothing on Twitter about the NBA All-Star game. And maybe that's just my algorithm, but I feel like normally I
Probably
would.
a little bit of both.
I saw a little bit about the Mac McClung dunk contest, and that was it. About him dunking over a car, and then he won the dunk contest, and that was literally it. I saw maybe 3 videos. and all of the rest was Four Nation stuff. Like all the fights in the USA Canada game, the hype around the championship game. I mean, what an opportunity the NHL had, and they took full advantage. And people are like, now everyone's like, well, can the NBA do something like this? The NBA can never do anything like that. Could you imagine? It'd probably be what? It'd be like, first of all, I don't even know if you could make Four Nations out of like the NBA.
No, it would have to be like a US versus like Europe type thing.
Right. It'd be like a US
And
versus the
then-
world type thing.
Yeah, and then it's just a bunch of Europeans on a team that like some of them, like most of them probably don't even speak the same like language. I mean, they all
Yeah,
can speak
and-
English, but like still, like with hockey, like that matters with communication.
And it's like, could you imagine trying to get Kevin Durant to care? Or like trying to get these players to actually give a fuck and not like treat it how they treat the actual All-Star game, where they're like chucking threes from half court. No one really cares. They're not playing for anything. Like that was the ultimate part that made the Four Nations so good. It was because the players actually played it like a true world tournament. And it's because they haven't really had an opportunity since the Olympics in 2016 or 2018 to really do anything like this. I mean, they have World Juniors, but the NHL guys don't play in that, and they're not allowed to play in the Olympics anymore. So, like,
Well,
this
they were advertising next year that they're back in the Olympics.
yeah, which is
Like throughout this whole
huge
thing, which is
because
awesome.
this will carry the momentum into the Olympics.
Exactly. I was gonna say now this is like set up. Like now there's like a rivalries established between these teams. And now there's even more motivation going into it next year. Like the US is gonna be like, well, we gotta get back at Canada.
I don't know if this will be an every year thing,
It's-
though.
No, I don't think and it shouldn't be, but this is like it's great
Maybe
timing,
every-
especially with the Olympics next year. It's such good setup.
Maybe every 2 years, or I don't know. I feel like you could either do like 2 or 4 years, but I feel like every 2 years would probably
Yeah, I would
be
just
a
like
good.
to it'd be cool to see a couple more countries involved.
Yeah,
Like,
I
dude,
think
just
you'd have to
make
go
a
to, like,
get over it, make a fucking Russia team. Because
you could make a Russia team, and you could probably
the
make
talent's there.
you could probably make like a Czech Republic team.
100%.
There's enough
And-
players from either, or like
I mean,
even
dude,
they
there's,
could.
there's a lot of good players from Switzerland now too.
I'm
and
sure
Ger-
that they
like,
could do.
There's a good amount of German players too.
You imagine if they broke down Canada by like the territory. You imagine if they could do that.
I mean, it would just be Ontario like dominating
Definitely.
pretty much
it'd be- it
because
would
I
be
mean
funny.
that's where they all come from. But I lost track of kind of what I was saying. Fuck. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Russians will be in the Olympics next year because even if they're not letting Russia's like team itself play, there's still like Russian. It's like the Olympic Russian like whatever.
Yeah, they
It's
have
just
like
not
that
under their
different
flag,
name.
so
Yeah.
they'll be there. So like all the best players from the KHL and the NHL will be on that team.
Well, hopefully
would be
they're
great.
they're
Because there's still a ton of players in the KHL that are Russian that could easily be great players in the NHL that choose to stay and play.
yeah, and there's
KHL.
plenty of guys in the NHL that are Russian, but like I think it's
Mhm.
like if NHL has never been higher right now in terms of like I don't know, like momentum and people's eyeballs. Like everyone was so fixed on this, and I think like it being now and then a few more weeks, like a month and a half, you're into the playoffs. We'll build hype around that. Obviously, you got Ovechkin's goal race going on, which will definitely help if he hits that before the season's over, which I mean, he's on pace that he will, but I think if he hits that, that'll be huge. Like, dude, it's never been more fun to watch the NHL at the moment.
Yeah, it's trending up. It's cool to see.
Yeah,
I'm back. Sorry,
perfect.
I thought you had left.
there was a customer.
I had a
Which
hunch.
sometimes I forget that I'm here, but
You like zone out and someone's standing right in front of you.
I heard the bell ring and I was like, "Whoops."
We were talking about the Four Nations and how the product of NHL has never been higher.
Well, I mean, it's just crazy that they can come out of this out of thin air, and it's just like the most watched hockey game out of all time. Like,
Yeah, I was saying too, this happening the same weekend as the NBA All-Star game too made the NBA look really bad.
yeah, NBA looked horrible. They really did. And like
'Cause
LeBron just being like, I don't really feel like playing. It's like, all right, cool, dude. Like, that's nice.
Yeah, it's like
it's not just
this
the
is the
All-Star
point.
games that sucked, it was like everything sucked.
Yeah.
It's like the skill, even the skills comps in the 3-point contest now. Like
It sucks every
it's like,
week.
who are these people?
Every time it sucks.
Yeah,
There's never
Mac
an
McClung
all-star
has to
game.
come from the G League to win the dunk contest and create
Yeah,
hype,
that's
and then
like,
just go right
no
back
one
to the
cares,
G League.
dude.
Yeah, like Mac McClung, the craze was good like the first time, and now that it's like the third time that he's doing this, everyone's like, okay, you just can't get anyone to do the dunk contest. Like at first it was like a cool, like, you know, to get everyone hyped, be like, yeah, everyone loves this guy's dunks and he can come in and he's like an underdog. Now he's won it 3 times and it's like, okay, this is fake. Like it doesn't really matter. 3-point contest doesn't really matter. I mean, it was cool when Steph was doing it, and like,
I don't know. The 3-point contest is the best part of the week, John.
it is. It's the best part, and then like,
Yeah,
there's just no hype around it anymore. Like Steph versus Clay. Remember when that was like the thing?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I just feel like it's such sour
Well,
right
also
now.
when they do weird shit like adding the like 4-point ball or like the starry ball or whatever the hell it's called, it's like, why? Like, what's the reasoning for this? Like, it's too much. Like, keep it the way it
It's
was.
them like grasping for straws.
trying to get people to be like, oh, there's a 4-point line this year. Wow.
Yeah, and it's like, because I was saying, Sal,
Cool,
like,
you got high schoolers to talk about it for 5 minutes.
like everyone wants the NBA to like do something like what the NHL did, and it's like you can never replicate that because the players care in the NHL and the NBA they do not care.
You could put any format and they're not going to try in an all-star game unless it's for home court advantage. And it's like all of the playoff seeds at that point playing their all-stars against each other, like East versus West or something. That's like the only way, though.
I agree. There has to be some sort of like incentive or prize. Like, and it's funny that like in the NHL, the guys literally just have to do it out of pride for their country. And like
those guys are just psychos, though. You can't. That's like a sport, though. You can't like go on. You're not going on the ice to like play half-assed or like not hit or like not like skate hard. Like,
it is a hard sport to like play lackadaisical.
It's like football. You can't really half-ass football. You could half-ass like baseball or basketball, but
Yeah, and I mean in the All-Star game in the 3v3 tournament, they do half-ass it, and you can kind of tell.
Aaron Judge certainly half-assed it in the World Series.
Anthony Rendon half-assed his whole career after 2019.
I used to think he was so good too.
Oh, dude, he was so good.
Yeah.
I mean, baseball as a sport can just be half-assed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Point. But yeah, I think like
Dude, like think about. Sorry to cut you off, but think about some of those pitchers in the MLB, and like how big they were. Like fucking Bartolo Colon. Like talk about half-ass, dude. Like jeez.
Yeah, Prince
or like
Fielder.
Sabathia, like.
Prince Fielder.
Then Sabathia was like,
Prince Fielder.
Prince Fielder, dude. I loved Prince Fielder.
They're like over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
He was so good.
And I mean, CC Sabathia is like ginormous too, but like he's like super tall, so that.
It's actually an abomination that those Tigers didn't win one World Series.
Yeah, fuck, dude. Fuck them. I hate them.
Scherzer, Verlander, Rick Porcello.
Oh, yeah. Dude, Doug Fister was better than... He was the second best pitcher on that staff for a while. Until Scherzer, like, really broke out in 13.
Anibal Sanchez when he was good.
Like, yep, he was good.
All right,
they got
Martinez. If I let you...
Miguel Cabrera and Prince Fielder, like, okay. Like, all right.
Here we go.
If I let you get off the leash now, we're never gonna end this podcast. So let me rein it in now. We'll get to other things we get to, and then you guys can go crazy because I think like you guys have been like itching to talk about baseball for sure.
A little, definitely.
What's going on in the NFL, dude? Every day I see a different story about someone going somewhere, and here's what pisses me off: is every time. Like, I don't know what accounts you guys see on Twitter, but, like, most of the football accounts that I see that are not affiliated with the Patriots at all, every free agent is like, oh, Patriots are the prime target to sign so-and-so. Like, are they primed? Are they going to sign every single free agent? Because that's all I see every single day, and it pisses me off. Because I'm like, okay, but like they're not going to get that guy. It's like, I don't know where they come up with
it's
this.
just one of those things that they have the most cap room. So obviously they have to say like, oh, likely destination. Like New England's going to be naturally one of them. Like,
Yeah,
you have
it's just funny that like it's like, okay, every time it's just the Patriots that are the prime target.
I mean,
Like,
they need talent. They need players. Like the roster's
oh,
pretty
no, I agree.
mediocre.
I agree,
Like,
but I would love for them to sign every single top free agent. But like, that's just reality is that's not going to happen. Like,
yeah, realistically, no, but they could have 2 or 3 guys. Like, it's not like
yeah.
they can't sign 2 guys for 20 million or 30 million this offseason, like a year.
And I mean, Mike Vrabel's been saying these recent few days, because obviously we're going into the combine, but he's been saying that, like, I think he said in one of the interviews that like our roster is going to look a lot different than it is today before the season
Which
starts.
it should, because just think about the offense. Like the offense is so mediocre. The line is like pretty bad. Hunter Henry's probably your best skill position player, or Ramondre Stevenson. Like that's pretty cheeks. Like you need an overhaul. You need talented players in there that are gonna make an impact, especially with the young quarterback.
I think you need some sort of star power wide receiver, and you need to like you need some
I
sort of
would draft a running back and do whatever it takes to get a number 1 or 1A receiver.
Genty.
Not at 4.
Yeah, not at 4. I don't agree.
If you trade it back to like 10 maybe, or 12 or 15 possibly, but
Well, I saw something today that the Raiders want to trade up to try and get Cam Ward.
Shador. Oh, wow.
I just saw that.
Oh, they want to get Cam?
Yeah.
No, they want
saw.
Shador. Tom Brady worked with Shador Sanders. That's easy right there. Why are you rolling your eyes? That's what happened. Like,
Yeah, this is
Yeah, he's gonna
NFL
suck.
rumors from
Should
yesterday.
go there, not the Giants.
oh no, I'm not doubting that he could suck. I'm just saying that if Brady knows him well enough and likes him, that's going to be who he wants. Like if they're trading up, it's for him.
The Las Vegas Raiders want to try to trade to number 1 for Cam Ward. That was the tweet.
It's for Shador, not Cam Ward.
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
If Shador's on the board at 4, then the Raiders trade up and trade picks with the Patriots. And then we go out and draft an offensive lineman. That's what I would want.
Here's the other one I saw this. The New England Patriots are the co-favorites to sign Pro Bowl wide receiver Stephon Diggs.
Huh. I didn't know he's a free agent.
If he leaves Houston, I don't know.
He should.
I want no part of Stephon Diggs. I'm also
I don't. Not after this injury this year. No.
No, he needs to stay with a good quarterback so I can draft him in fantasy.
Excuse me. Watch your mouth there, buddy.
Patriots are also like thinking about trading.
Not a good quarterback. He needs to stay with a good quarterback.
Oh, yeah, but I know CJ was throwing to him.
CJ was kind of poo last year, except for the one playoff game against the Chargers.
All of his receivers got hurt.
No, I know, but I mean Diggs was getting his.
Diggs was one of the top wide receivers when he got hurt.
He was the number 6 ranked fantasy wide receiver when he went out for the season.
And Antonio had 5. Antonio had 5
teams.
teams. Antonio had 5 teams, and he drafted him on 6 of them.
I had 2 teams, and I had him on both.
Tough.
All right.
That's why fantasy's dumb.
Yeah, well, we live and we learn.
We'll see you done next year at the draft.
Fuck me, dude.
So I think like the biggest one for me that I see the most on Twitter is like where Matthew Stafford will end up.
Yeah, dude. So most teams I think
crazy.
the Rams are saying that they want a first round pick for him, which I totally understand. But like, I also then see today that the Giants are like their number 1 priority for this offseason is getting Matt Stafford. And it's like, there's no way you trade that pick away for what?
No, I think that would be very dumb.
And also look at our roster in comparison to Washington and Philly. Like, even with Matt Stafford, like what does that make us? Maybe a 7-win team, 8-win team.
Yeah,
that's not.
I would say that's probably high.
I mean, 7's probably like the number with Matt Stafford.
Well, think about it too. Matt Stafford's like a 40-year-old quarterback. Why does he don't want to play with the Giants outside?
I
When he can
know.
play in LA. Like
That's also true.
I mean, I don't think
That
it would
just
be his
doesn't make
choice to
sense.
play
It's
for
not
the
his choice.
Giants.
It'd be a trade.
But I mean, I don't understand why the Giants would be pursuing him so hard.
Unless they're not going to trade that number 2 overall pick and you draft Ward and have him sit behind Stafford. I'm so cool with that.
Yeah,
I
it
would
would
love
just be
that.
up to if the
I would
Rams
love
were willing
that.
to accept something other than a first round pick.
Yeah. Which
I guess
don't
could
know what it would
happen,
take
but
at that
I
point.
mean,
But I mean, I guess the Giants have young players on defense that are good that they could trade them. Though I wouldn't really want to do that.
although would the Rams be better off keeping him
I don't know, man.
at that point?
Do the Giants sign? Is
Like, I
Kupp a
don't
free
think
agent?
I don't think the Rams absolutely have to get rid of Matthew Stafford.
No, they don't.
no, they can do it. They
Sean
can do
McVay
it
was
next
just on my TV
offseason.
talking about it.
They can
but-
do it next offseason and then bring in Trevor Lawrence.
Apparently, the Steelers really want him though.
That's,
mean, that was
it's just
weeks ago I
crazy to
saw
go
that.
from
Maybe
Justin
not.
Fields and Russell Wilson to Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Not that
Yeah,
it's that
I mean,
much
Justin
of a
Fields is
downgrade, but like
horrible.
not that it's that much of a downgrade because like Russell Wilson and Justin Fields aren't that good, but like it's just crazy that like you get rid of those two guys to get Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
Lawrence is easily an upgrade from Justin Fields.
Shut the fuck up. I know you're
Do you
pushing
want to?
you're pushing my buttons right now.
Yeah, because you know that I'm right. How
You're
many
right
winning
by
seasons
like
has Fields had?
2%.
Okay, how many winning seasons has Fields had? Wait, hold on. How many seasons has Fields had where he's won more than 5 games?
Trevor Lawrence has been on a way better team.
I don't fucking care.
If you let Justin Fields start this whole Steelers season, he would have had a winning season.
I'm not so sure about that.
I mean, they were what, 3-1 when they benched him? 4-1?
I
Yeah.
just don't get the Justin Fields love. I really don't.
I don't understand it, man.
No, I listen. I have never said that he's an elite quarterback or anything like that. I just
He's
think
as good as
a
like
lot of people
Tyler
hate him.
Huntley.
A lot of people hate him for no reason. That's my thing.
Because I don't think he should have been a first round pick anyway. And I think a lot of other people feel that way.
That's fine. That's fine. I just don't think he's gotten a fair shake.
And if he wasn't drafted in the first round, and
You know who
people
has
saw
had a
more
fair
for
shake in the
what he
league
is
Trevor Lawrence, and he's poo-poo doo-doo fart.
yeah, he looked
So-
like shit last year.
Yeah. I put him on the Steelers. He's gonna do the exact same thing. They're just going back to Kenny
They'll
Pickett.
go 10-7 again.
They're going back to Kenny Pickett. That's all they're doing.
Dude, the like 25th to 37th best quarterback in the league is so interchangeable. It's disgusting. Like Kenny Pickett, Mitchell Trubisky, like
And that's what I'm saying. Like
Justin
it
Fields,
makes no sense
like,
to
people
like get
that.
rid
It's
of
like
them.
It just doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it makes no sense to get rid of them if you're just gonna make a lateral move, if not a worse move.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, you're just hoping that these guys like buy into the system and they pop off and, play to their potential that everyone saw when they came into the league. And it's like, okay, that's fine. But most of the time that does not happen. So why not get a younger guy and develop him? I don't know. And that's what I think they could do with Justin Fields. I mean, Justin Fields is not that old.
Yeah.
So I
Do
don't
you know who's younger? Trevor Lawrence. Who do you think is more developer? Who do you think is more like?
Who's more developed?
Yeah,
That's
I
just
don't. Not developed. I was gonna say like, who do you have a
I
better
think
chance
I think
in developing?
Justin Fields
into-
has a better chance of developing just because he can run.
Yeah,
But
I
he
totally
can't throw.
disagree.
That's
He
the most
literally
important
can't throw,
part.
dude. It doesn't matter, Nolan. It
Okay.
doesn't fucking matter. What do you
Yeah,
develop him? What, to a lifetime backup?
Okay, that's the same thing they're gonna do with Trevor Lawrence.
Matt Jones and
Yeah,
Justin
dude.
Fields are the same thing. That's like the same
And there's
level.
teams
And
trying
Trevor
to trade for
Lawrence.
him to be a starter.
And Trevor
No,
Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence is a step up from them. Come on.
Okay, by a step,
Yeah, dude.
what are we talking about?
Nolan,
Like-
my only
like
issue
what- like
is that
One or
I'm
two
not-
wins? One or
Like,
two
so one
wins?
step.
Here's my issue, Nolan. I'm
How
not
many
sitting here
wins?
trying to convince you that he's like a top 15 quarterback, but you talk about him like he's Zach Wilson, and I think
When
that's
have I-
really stupid.
Trevor Lawrence?
Yes. You
He's-
talk about him like he's number 28 and down.
Okay, so
I just
he's
think that's
what, 17 or
ridiculous.
15? I don't think there's a difference
I'm
to
not
me.
I'm not trying to convince you that he's like top 15 right now.
You
How
don't have
could
to
I?
convince me because he's not. So like that's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
But, like,
He's poo poo.
I know. I just think he's obviously better than Justin Fields. And I think
And I'm
a
saying
lot of
it's
people that watch
very minimal.
football
That's what I'm saying.
would agree
I
with
never
me.
disagreed with you. I'm saying it's very minimal. The
Yeah,
step
I don't know.
up from Justin Fields to Trevor Lawrence is like half a step. It's 1 or 2 wins better. That's what
don't
I
know.
think.
Sal, who do you trust more to get you to 10 wins?
Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields?
Yeah,
The guy who's actually gotten to 10 wins before?
exactly.
I don't really think it matters. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it matters because he's not
I mean,
going to
was
get 10
that
wins.
was that team spectacular too? They were good.
I mean, the
but
Jaguars
they
team was
weren't
better
even
than the
s-
shitty
they weren't-
Bears team that Justin
Oh,
Fields
I
was
know.
on.
But that Jags team wasn't expected to make the playoffs at all that year either.
But that's why I said that Justin Fields, I don't think has had a fair shake because he's been on a shit
I know.
box
And-
of a fucking Bears team, and he had Matt Eberflus as head coach at the end. What the fuck do you expect?
Well, and my thing is that
When Trevor Lawrence had
Lawrence-
Doug Peterson, who won a fucking Super Bowl, it's a big
and got
difference.
fired from 2 teams.
Okay. Yeah, he still proved that he could win. That's what we're
yes,
talking about here.
he did. And then he fell off a cliff in the Jaguar land.
Yeah, because Trevor
Just like he
Lawrence
did in
played
Philly.
like doo-doo fart. Got him fired.
Yeah.
Got him fired.
He didn't play half the year.
And when he did, he was doo-doo.
Yeah.
Who was the backup for them?
I don't know, dude.
Like Blaine Gabbert or something?
No idea.
For who? The Jaguars?
Yeah, when Trevor Lawrence went down?
Matt Jones.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, talking about last year? I was talking about...
Oh, they traded for him, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, Mac Jones...
Yeah, I don't know who their backup was before.
And look at what happened when Mac Jones came in. They were talking like he was going to take over Trevor Lawrence's spot. You remember that?
Dude, Matt Jones
And then he played like fucking garbage.
Matt Jones loved Brian Thomas. When Matt Jones came in, Brian Thomas had like 150 yards a game.
Brian Thomas was one of the top wide receivers, at least in fantasy this year. Somehow.
Yeah. I mean, he's a great player.
I mean, yeah. I think like that's a good piece that they have. So, I mean, does Trevor Lawrence leave the Jags, though?
It's not up to him.
And then they're what? They're stuck with fucking
Why would they-
Mac Jones?
Why would they trade him, though?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know why. I mean, unless they think they can get, something, and then
Exactly. Unless you're getting a top 3 pick where you can draft another quarterback after that. Like,
I don't know.
Would
If
you,
they
do
would,
would you do Stafford in a pitch for Trevor Lawrence?
no.
if I was the Jags, I wouldn't do that, but I'd like that. It's
think that
again
makes-
like did the Jags get no benefit out of that?
They did a pick.
Like, well,
But like,
this
what
year's
pick would
picking
it be? Like
Stafford.
the third or fourth pick?
What? Maybe you go 9-8 this year.
I don't know. It's just a thought.
I think what's happening right now is like there's definitely just a lot of like gibberish happening on Twitter because people are excited. I feel like nothing is really going to happen that bad.
I've just been saying for so long that Trevor Lawrence is joining the Rams that I have to come up with any hypothetical that Trevor
Well,
Lawrence
did you see
goes to the
today
Rams.
that Aaron Rodgers is ready to go to the Rams with Devontae Adams if Matt Stafford leaves?
It's like,
Are they
okay,
married?
I think so.
Puka Nakua would hate that. He would just sort of Devontae every play.
Yeah. I think he like is the worst part if Matt Stafford leaves. I think that's terrible for Puka Nakua's stock. Because no matter who they get, it's like, okay, you'd have to get somebody very good, like very dynamic to be able to like keep up with how he's been producing.
Nobody targets one receiver like Matt Stafford does. Like,
yeah, and that's why him and Cooper Kupp never really, like when they're in together, like they had a couple games here and there where like they were both going off, but like in reality, it was either one was in, one was out, and whichever one was in was usually producing.
yeah.
And it kind of created confusion because you're right. Matt Stafford loves one guy. And now that Cooper Kupp will probably be gone. Puka Nakua's stock is going to go up high, but then if Aaron Rodgers comes in for Matt Stafford, I'm not drafting Puka Nakua in anything.
Yeah, no.
Not even the war. All right, who else? Oh, Myles Garrett. The Lions inquired about Myles Garrett.
Nah, he's going to the Eagles because the Eagles just get all these players somehow every time.
Yeah, I could see both.
Lions would be really good though. Him and Hutchinson, that'd be a problem.
Oh my god, that would be the scariest front. That'd be the scariest defensive front I've ever seen.
Right now, it's just think in the future, and it's next year's Super Bowl. What do you want to see? Like, what is your dream matchup for the Super Bowl next year?
I don't
Lions,
know. I hate
Lions,
football. I don't
Bengals.
fucking care.
Lions Bengals is a great answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that'd be a great matchup. Bills Giants. I mean, what else? No.
Well, yeah, that's a good answer.
Um.
I like Bills
Yeah,
Lions.
dude. I was gonna say like it just sounds corny at this point, but Bills Lions, like,
Yeah.
of course, like I'd love that.
We need it, bro.
Even a Bills Eagles, I would take.
I'd take Bills Eagles.
After the bullshit we've had to eat these last 2 years with the Chiefs bullshit.
Yeah,
we need
it's
a year where we get
dude.
what we want.
It's just so stupid because, like, obviously, no, like, unless you're a Chiefs fan, everybody was rooting against the Chiefs and just wanted to see them lose. And it just so happens that anybody that's not a Philly fan, that's an NFL fan, probably hates the Eagles too.
Yeah.
And then when the Chiefs finally lose, it's like everyone's like, of course, though, it's the fucking Eagles. Like, of course, we just get fucked anyway.
Mhm.
First playoff game they play next year, they're losing. They're going like 1-0 next year if they
Kansas
make the
City?
playoffs.
The Chiefs,
yeah.
yeah.
Or
Where
they're not making
does
playoffs.
Gronk go if he comes back?
Huh?
Chiefs.
Have you been seeing
You
that
didn't
on
see
Twitter?
that?
Everyone's they're saying that Gronk wants to come back.
Why?
I have no idea. I don't know if it like came out of thin air. I don't know where these
He probably just said it on TV.
where do
one
these
day
stories
and
come
didn't
from?
really
Like
read it.
he was like talking to his agent and be like, "Yo, should I?" And then his agent immediately runs to like someone and they put it on Twitter immediately.
There's no way he comes back.
Okay, but if he does, who does he play for? Who is Gronk gonna play for in 2025, 2026?
The Bills.
Ooh,
I mean, he's from Western New York.
that's the answer. I
'Cause
was
that
gonna
was
say
an-
the
that was-
Chargers.
I think his parents still live near Buffalo.
The Chargers would be funny. I feel like he would have to come back on like one of the top teams, or why would he do it?
Yeah.
He's not gonna come back to like be on the fucking like Chargers
Well, does that mean Brady comes back?
because they're married.
They are married.
They're married. No, I saw that and I was like, "There's no way."
If he doesn't go to the Bills, then he goes to the Raiders because that's Tom's team.
Him and Julian Edelman both come back, go on the Patriots.
Jesus.
All right, I think that's it for football, really. Although the one thing I did see was like if Matt Stafford does leave, that the Rams would be fine with Jimmy Garoppolo. That was the funniest thing I saw.
Then they're going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, ew. That's the 38th best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
Maybe 40.
Antonio, if I said name me the 6 division winners in baseball right now, what are they?
Ooh, I mean, I'll say it right off the bat. Maybe the best future bet you could make for the MLB season is Red Sox to win the AL East.
Wow.
I'm not gonna pick that, but I think it's close with them with the Yankees. I think the Red Sox are better than the Orioles, and I think it's gonna be mostly between the Yankees and the Red Sox this year, especially if their pitching stays healthy. Like, as long as I don't think anybody needs to be Crochet. Someone needs to step up and be an ace and be like, the 3 ERA guy. But I don't
It
think
should
they
be
need it to be.
Crochet.
I don't
It
think
should
they
be
need it to. Yeah, but I don't think it needs to be quite at like a top 3 Cy Young level. But I think he can do that. They're just gonna score a fuck ton of runs, dude. Like a fuck ton.
Wow, American League East winner. Yankees even money. Orioles plus 270. Red Sox plus 400. Rays plus 1,000. Blue Jays plus 1,100.
Yeah, definitely. The Red Sox have the
But
best bang for your buck right now.
yeah,
I would say so for sure.
I'll still.
Do they win this? If you play this season 10 times, they win this division more than 4 times.
Oh, I was gonna say 4.
Oh, all right. Then according
I'd
to you,
probably-
they have them priced right.
I'd probably say 4 to the Red Sox, 4 to the Yankees, then like one random. If you play it 10
Blue
times, because
Jays.
baseball's baseball.
Yeah.
Blue Jays or Orioles.
I don't know, dude. To finish your question though, I think what was I gonna say? I think I'd still pick the Yankees. Then in the Central, none of these AL Central teams did anything to like put themselves ahead of the other ones. I don't understand. And same thing with the Twins. Like the Twins, like are they just gonna suck again when they should be a lot better? I'd love to say the Royals, but like I wasn't impressed with their offseason at all. Oh, Sal's a customer. Someone look at something.
Someone coming in for a water test. Someone
Oh,
saw
man.
it was over 50 today.
someone-
Someone opened their pool.
It's someone walking in to talk baseball with Sal.
He's like, "Hang on, let me get you on the podcast."
But yeah, no, I think the Red Sox are gonna be in. I think they're gonna be really good.
Yeah, I think them getting Bregman kind of like was their saving grace. I feel like
Mm-hmm. That was huge.
That was definitely huge that they could at least get something if they didn't get the Soto treatment. Who's gonna be like the outlier that no one sees coming? Because there's always one. I feel like in each conference in baseball, I feel like there's one team.
I like Oakland this year
Interesting.
because
Okay.
they weren't exactly. I mean, they were bad last year, but I don't think they were exactly a doormat. I think because the Astros are they're probably not a playoff team this year. The Mariners really didn't do anything to improve their roster when they should have, because they could have put themselves ahead with a signing like of another bat, but their offense is horrible. Their pitching's amazing. Their offense is just horrible. So Texas probably wins the West, but I mean Oakland might not be a bad bet. I bet it's really good odds. Brent Rooker's awesome. He might get MVP votes. I think he finished top 5 American League MVP last year. He had a great year. Sal types on in the chat.
I think just that he has a.
Oh, truck driver.
He's
Oh,
getting
damn.
he's getting deliveries.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the only thing that is holding Oakland back is the fact that they're not playing at the Coliseum anymore.
And watch that. Just watch them be great in front of 30,000 people.
Right.
It's going
it
to be
could
a
go
thing.
really good or really bad. Like they're either gonna be really bad, I feel like, or they're gonna be really good, and people are gonna be like, "See, keep them here."
Yeah. I mean, dude, they have the best closer in the league as of right now. Mason Miller was amazing last year. They have some good young bats, and they're good at developing pitching. They signed Luis Severino, which, if he can be 80% of what he was on the Yankees, then I think that's a win for Oakland. And it's just it's a weak division, bro. It really is. So I don't know. AL, I could see them maybe coming out of nowhere. In the NL, like Pittsburgh, maybe. I don't know, man. The NL is just like it's so top heavy, man. You kind of just know who's gonna be in it. Maybe I don't hate the Nationals. CJ Abrams was a rookie last year, and he's one of their big prospects. He started off really good, but I think he ended kind of so-so. But I mean, he could still, if he develops well, he's a young shortstop who can hit. I don't know about playoffs for them. I don't know. Yeah, if anything, between both leagues, I'd say like A's. I think the Pirates maybe have a shot at the playoffs, but the NL is just like you got Braves, Dodgers, Mets that are always going to be in the mix.
Wow, I'm surprised that I'm surprised. So I was looking up like where the Athletics are playing from. It's the Sutter Health Park in West Sacramento,
Yeah.
where like their AAA team plays or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm surprised that it has 14,000 seats. I feel like it would be. I think they have like lawn seating, which helps.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
they have
dude,
10,600 seats by itself, which I feel like is pretty impressive for.
there's two MLB teams that are going to be playing at minor league facilities this year because the Rays are going to be playing at Steinbrenner Field. They're literally using the Yankees spring training
I
and
forgot that
single A
their
ball
fucking place
park.
like exploded.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
it's just so crazy to me. They're literally going to be playing in a Yankees stadium
Yeah.
for their home games.
And it's crazy too that the A's are playing for the next 2/3 years from there.
Yeah,
That really sucks. Because I can't imagine the facilities are that great either.
where in
I mean,
dude,
Sacramento, it's probably
it's
really bad.
honestly, dude, it's probably better than the Coliseum. The Coliseum's a fucking dump, man.
Yeah, you do have a point there. It probably is better.
Dump, dude.
Yeah.
Like, there's stories about rats going around at that place and shit. It's I've heard it's gross. I've heard the bathrooms are disgusting.
Let's see. Opened in 2000, huh?
The Coliseum?
No, the
Oh,
Sutter Health Park.
I was gonna say what? Yeah, I fucking hate the Dodgers, bro. I mean, were the Diamondbacks playoff team last year? I think they made the playoffs, but they're still good. No, they missed the playoffs by a game. I could definitely see them back in the playoffs this year.
Let's see. Yeah, the Diamondbacks 1 game, huh? Very unfortunate.
The Cubs are kind of terrible.
They had 89 wins though. I mean, that's not bad.
Mm-hmm. No, it's good. That's normally you're
Although
good enough to make the
you
playoffs.
like San Francisco this year, don't
to some
you?
extent.
No, you don't.
I mean, I just don't know how they really improved from
Could have
last year. And they
sworn
were
one of the
just kind of a mad team.
one of the random times we did the podcast, you came out and you were like, "Sal, the Giants are winning the World Series." Maybe you were joking, but
Maybe maybe you're thinking of sometime last year.
maybe.
But I don't know. They signed Verlander, but I mean, dude, he's 42 years old, so
He's
like,
so
what?
elderly. When he signed
Yeah.
with them, I was like, I'm surprised anyone like wanted him.
The Blue Jays just signed Scherzer, and he looks weird. He looks weird in Blue Jays stuff. And I think the Blue Jays are going to be terrible.
The Blue Jays will probably be terrible. Yeah, I feel like they're like every like 3 or 4 years they have a good season type deal.
Oh yeah. Oh, that'd be if Sal was here, that'd be good to get into the whole Vlad Jr. situation with their contract. But no, I think a lot of people are going to be picking the Rays to be the last place team in the division this year, which means they're probably going to pull 88 wins out of their ass somehow because that's just what Tampa does, especially if everybody thinks they're going to suck.
I mean, yeah,
But
but
they
if
do
that's
suck.
the case, how many like do the Orioles win? You think they're gonna be terrible?
Oh no, I don't.
No.
The Orioles won't be terrible. I just don't think they're going to be as
you
good
think
as the Yankees or Red Sox.
you think the Blue Jays are gonna be ass then?
I think they're last
division is
place.
gonna be good. The whole division should have a 500 or better record.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
So what's going on
I'm
with
not.
What's going on with the Vlad Jr. stuff?
He gave a deadline to sign his extension, and he said the Blue Jays were nowhere near his number.
Yeah, he thinks he deserves Soto money, and that's just how it's going to be for every MLB
That's crazy.
like star free agent now.
He really is not. He's not that good. Like he's really good, but he's not like Soto good by any means.
Like he shouldn't even get Judge money.
Will there be a team that would be willing to give him that? So what, like, Could they
I don't
just be
know, dude.
like, we're not doing that?
I mean, he also like swore and said many times throughout his career that he would never play for the Yankees and that he hates the Yankees. And now last week, he's
Everyone
like,
says
now
that
last week he's like,
until
I
that
know.
check hits.
Now he's like, I'm open to all 30 teams, even the Yankees. And it's
Isn't that life though? Like,
Yeah.
it's one. It's you say one thing, but then when someone puts money in front of you, it becomes a whole other thing. Like
Money talks, bro. People
I
will
could
do
say I would never
anything
play
for money.
Like I'm the biggest Red Sox fan ever, and I could say I would never play for the Yankees. Then if the Yankees offer me $5 million a year, it's like, oh, I could play for the Yankees. Like that sounds pretty fun.
Bregman grew up like a diehard Yankee fan, like watching the Jeter Yankees, and where's number 2 for that? And now he's on the Red Sox. So
Yeah, it's dude.
I mean, but he might hate the Yankees now after the whole like we hate him for the whole cheating thing. So
Yeah,
maybe
true.
he's like, fuck him, I'm just gonna go play for the Red Sox.
He's trying to bring back his image.
I mean, it's hard to come back from that, but
it is
Yeah,
hard to
now
come
you're
back from
playing
that.
for Alex Cora again.
Yeah, right.
It won't help his case that much. But I mean, if he plays good and they make the playoffs, he'll take a step in the right direction. Maybe.
I would be shocked if the Red Sox did not make the playoffs.
Oh, me too. I'd be very shocked. It would mean that there were injuries all over the place.
Which seems to happen lately.
Devers needs to get the fuck over it.
He needs to DH, but he has too much pride.
And it sucks because you don't want to waste a guy like that at DH either.
I have no problem doing that.
Why don't you? Trade. What if you trade Casas?
No, no, sir.
You love him?
I love Tristan Casas.
Okay.
He's a cornerstone player. He's very weird. He's extremely weird, extremely out there. At the same time,
I was gonna say maybe like you could trade him for like a top end reliever or something like that because that's
you could probably get one of Seattle's pitchers off of them. But at the same time, I think that's a guy you put third or fourth in your lineup for the next 10 years, and he has 30 home runs a year, 30, 35, 40 home runs a year.
I mean, that infield's just looking good. I just don't see Devers will definitely still have games where he plays third base, but I mean, the best team on the field is Bregman, a Gold Glover, multiple time Gold Glover, playing third, and Story at short.
I still think he would be a good defensive second baseman, though.
Yeah, but what?
I understand.
Devers value
at third is bad. I understand.
Also, it's just more valuable his defense at third than second. And you can't move Devers to second. He's got no range. You need to have range.
No,
never.
Second. Yeah, never that.
So
he's kind of Tubby when it comes to that.
Maybe you'll see him at second this year. Who knows? But I mean,
well, what is David Ortiz's worth in this market right now as a DH? What would he make a year?
I don't know.
Because if that's what Devers is making, I don't care if he DHs. Like if that's what the similar contract is, that's fine with me.
I want him playing where he is going to be healthy and he can play his best baseball.
I really don't think this is going to be a big drama thing. I think a lot of people are like really working this up.
Who's their second base prospect? Christian Campbell?
Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to be. I think they're trying to find a way to have him come up this year, though.
Which the only way to have him come up is having Devers DH.
Yeah. So then it is what it is. Yeah. I don't know. If it was me, I wouldn't worry about it too much as a Red Sox fan. Like when it comes to like divisions in the clubhouse, I think I kind of trust Cora with this shit.
I mean, it's hard not to.
Yeah. You did say something about Seattle though. I was saying with Nolan, he was saying like, who do you think could come out of nowhere this year? Because there's always a team in baseball that comes out of nowhere. And
that was a good answer.
No, I didn't say Seattle. I was like in the American League, the A's, because that division is going to be garb. The Rangers are probably the best team in that division.
Yeah.
Seattle has amazing pitching, but their lineup, their hitting is putrid. They didn't do anything. They didn't do anything to improve their hitting. And the A's signed some pitchers. They got some good young hitters. Brent Rooker could be an MVP candidate. I mean, that's not bad. I'm sure their odds are crazy.
Lawrence Butler's good too.
Yeah, dude. They could sneak into the playoffs as a playoff team.
30 to 1.
Things go well.
30 to 1 Athletics to win the West.
It's not bad.
I mean, dude, throw fucking $10 on that.
Maybe.
That's not bad. And I would say NL's too top heavy. I can't think of like a random team really from the NL that's gonna come out of nowhere. Like I don't know, maybe the Pirates make the playoffs or something.
I love saying that every year, and then they start off good, and then they're like 30
Yeah.
and 40, and like halfway through, you're like, oh, okay.
Arizona's probably back in the playoffs this year, though. I think
Arizona's a good call.
Yeah, San Diego's definitely going to take a step down.
Mets are making the World Series.
Yeah, maybe, dude. The Braves, when healthy, still might be the best team in the NL.
It's true.
Their lineup is still like top bottom. It's definitely still better than the Mets. I don't know. That dynamic will be interesting.
I don't know about that.
The Mets are a bit more top heavy than you might think with their lineup. And I'm not sitting here hating on the Mets because like I'm salty about them having Soto.
I'm a huge Mark Vientos guy. I think you're
I
gonna see
I like their
you're gonna see
lineup.
a leap next year, like a huge leap.
I like their lineup. I just still think that Braves are definitely still. I know they're the favorite. They definitely still should be the favorite.
I can promise you, Marcell Ozuna is not hitting 350 this year or 330.
I mean, probably not. But I mean, they'll get Acuna back at some point.
And then he'll be shit this year and really good next year.
Maybe.
I mean, coming back from that injury, probably.
I mean, the Mets could definitely make the World Series. I don't see the Dodgers going back again.
No, they will.
They always do.
Fuck you.
No, I'm joking. It's Mets or Dodgers out of the NL. Those are the only two teams that can win it.
Might have to be a Subway Series.
Yankees Mets would be great.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go to a Yankee Met game this year. Those will be quite fun this year.
Although isn't that
a lot
just
of shit
us?
talk.
Isn't that just us saying like Lions Bengals Super Bowl or Lions Bills Super Bowl is like
Well,
Mets,
yeah.
Yankees.
I mean, baseball is all like it's a lot more random than that too.
Yeah.
But
it'll be like Rockies Mariners World Series.
Yeah.
It'll be like, oh, okay.
That would be one of the worst World Series I could think of.
If Rockies Mariners somehow were the two finalists, then something crazy happened.
Something crazy would have had to have happened. Like the Yankees, Red Sox, Mets, Braves, they would all have to just die.
Wow, dude! Imagine the ALCS is Yankees, Red Sox, and the NLCS is Braves and Mets.
Imagine
those would be some intense series, dude.
Imagine the ALCS was Yankees, Red Sox, and the NLCS was Yankees, Red Sox.
No, Mets, Dodgers, and Yankees, Red Sox.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah, Juan Soto coming out with like Mr. Met wearing sunglasses on his hat on the first day of spring training.
Wow, and then it's a Subway Series, World Series, and Juan Soto goes up against the Yankees.
Yeah. A lot of Met fans like seem to be really salty that Yankee fans like really like, yeah, it sucks that we lost Soto, but it's like they're like, no, be more mad about it. And we're like, it's fine.
I think, dude, just people from New York are just so fucking angry all the time.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like,
dude.
They just love to be angry. And it's like you get one of the top players in MLB and you're still mad that the Yankees are mad about it. It's like, you got him, bro. Be happy.
Yeah. And they're like, you're a little brother now. And we're like,
no, you
they're like, cry some more. Cry some more. It's like,
and I'm like, no, I like Max Fried. No, the Bellinger, I mean, it's spring training, but I mean, it's a good sign to see that these guys, Bellinger and Goldschmidt, have their first week of spring training. They're seeing the ball well. They're getting hits. I don't know. I like this team.
I love the highs and lows of the Yankee season. It always starts so hopeful and it always ends the same way.
Oh yeah, I mean, you just know at some point late July, early August, they're gonna go on like a 5-25 stretch. It always happens.
Aaron Boone will never win a World Series.
Yeah, maybe not. That's not a bad take.
I have a feeling the Yankees are going to start really slow this year.
The Yankees can win a World Series, just not with Aaron Boone. That's just not what happens. I'm sorry.
I don't know. No, their pitching might be like their starting pitching might be way too good to even start slow.
I
like
think
maybe
they're
their
just gonna have
offense,
some
but
hiccups like in the first like maybe 15, 20 games of the year, and then they're gonna be insane after that.
yeah, they might take time to gel. It's a different lineup than last year.
Yeah, I mean it's vastly different than I feel like they're used to. So
Judge is probably back in the 2 hole this year.
and
They're
I mean
probably gonna have
I don't know
Bellinger
if
batting third.
have we seen like a shakeup like this where Aaron Boone has had to like actually be a manager.
Oh yeah, dude, 2019, they're I think 6 out of their 8 like everyday starters got hurt, and it was no names everywhere. The team won 103 games. It was incredible.
Yeah, but I mean in terms of
It
like
was like
because that's a
the
little bit
next
different.
man up Yankees.
Yeah, that's a little bit different. I mean like off season you bring in a bunch of guys that are high level guys and you got to make them all.
Oh
gel.
yeah. I mean, it depends. It kind of just depends on how you view Goldschmidt. If you want to still call him like a high level guy. I mean, guy won MVP 2 years ago, but then he had a really down season last year. So with him, like, Bellinger is a. He's always been a weird player to me, honestly.
I feel like
I think
he's
he's
gonna
gonna do
slide in
really.
nicely
Oh no, he is. He's a great fit
because he's
for
not like
Yankee
he's not
Stadium.
like the other big name guys where they hadn't played in a big market before. Like he's played in the biggest market in the NL. So like
Yeah, and then it's Chicago Cubs, dude.
yeah,
Again,
so
like
he's
it's a
not
big
gonna
baseball
be
market.
there's not gonna be like an adjustment for him playing in a Yankees
So
uniform.
you know what's funny? His dad, Clay Bellinger, played for 3 teams, and those 3 teams were the Dodgers, the Yankees, and the Cubs.
Wow.
And those are the 3 teams that Cody's played for. But I think
Wow, man, that's so
yeah.
cool.
He'll slide into the lineup. I don't know. To me, he's just always been a weird player because if you look at his baseball reference, like it's like one year he'll bat like 303, hit 37 home runs. Then the next year he bats 248 and hits like 25 home runs with like 70 something RBIs.
Yeah,
The years
I don't.
It's a strange player, a really strange player.
The years he's smoking cards, he does really bad, and the years he's smoking real
Oh
weed,
yeah,
he does
no,
really good.
there was a couple of years that he was really bad.
He's gonna be smoking those meth carts that New York City has.
Yeah,
The ones that you get at like on a cart on the side of the road. A cart off of a cart.
A cart.
I do think he'll be good though. I don't think he's gonna flop like Anthony Rizzo did.
no.
Where like Rizzo was good for like 5 games and then was just absolute shit
Yo.
after that.
You see, Stanton's already hurt.
Is he? I mean, like, did he hurt his big toe? Did he stub his big toe?
No, he has tennis elbow in both elbows.
Okay, so he's gonna miss 80 games.
And he already got flown back to New York.
Like, dude, what is good? What is good with him? I swear he hates baseball. I swear he hates it. There's just those guys that are just all like, and I think like injuries in baseball are so funny because it's like, I don't know. I feel like they should happen a lot less. Like all of the advancement that we've seen in these other sports where like they've done so much to prevent injuries, why do I feel like baseball's been going backwards? Like why do guys feel I feel like guys get more hurt?
That's a big topic, especially the amount of guys that get Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, and I get like with pitchers and stuff like it's a lot different, but like I'm saying like field players and stuff like that, I feel like you should.
Well, no, the thing is, with the pitchers, the whole argument is that like sports science is at an all-time high, but then like these pitchers are also getting hurt way more than ever in like the history of the game. Yet like
I can kind
the
of understand
workout
that
procedure
because
and everything is so advanced now. Like what's going wrong?
I'm not necessarily talking about pitchers just because pitchers are so like pitchers obviously have the most taxing job in baseball, even though, you know, during the regular season you're not playing every single game, but like still. I'm more talking about like field players and like role players. It's like I don't understand how they get hurt. How does Stanton get hurt, bro? Like how do you get hurt?
I mean, you can
training?
say that. You could say that, but then like when then you'll learn that he's been playing through an injury for the last like 2 months, and you're like, oh Jesus, that's why he's been batting 210.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, I just don't
But
get
it's
how
also
it even
player
gets to
player
that
too.
point. It's like, to me, Rafael Devers should never get hurt. like,
I mean, dude, he might roll he's a little big. He might roll his ankle.
And like, it's just because he's big. It's like, dude, if you just did a little bit of training, like a little bit,
Sure.
you probably would not get hurt. And it's like, dude, I think it's just because what I think it is, in my theory, in my like conspiracy theory, is just that like baseball players spend a lot more time not moving than they do moving. And the transition from not moving at all to moving 110%, like the shift like is way bigger than in any other sport. So I feel like that kind of like hurts a lot of guys, especially guys that like aren't in the best shape. Probably like Devers and like some of these guys who are bigger. It's like, dude, going from 0 to 100 is not good on your muscles and bones. And if you don't do anything in terms of like training and physical therapy or anything of that nature, like your hamstrings.
Yeah, dude, there's some baseball players that you could tell don't give a fuck in the off season.
Oh yeah.
It's like, dude, yeah. I mean, I don't know. If you're getting paid $300 million and you're 250 and you don't really move that much, like, would you give a fuck? I don't think I would.
I don't know about $300 million, but I do wish I was 250.
Yeah.
You already named your winners. I'm gonna go real quick. Red Sox, Royals.
Oh yeah.
Mariners. Mets.
I pick Texas Rangers for the West.
Ooh, okay. Mets, Cubs, Dodgers. Those are my six.
I knew you were gonna pick the Cubs. Boring. Mets, Brewers, Dodgers. The NL
Brewers. Come
I
on.
I know it's gross, Sal, but like that.
Go with the Pirates.
So
you just said that they were going to be the team.
That's like me picking England every fucking soccer tournament. That's how bad that is.
Well, yeah, but now I don't do it though.
I get it, Sal. Like,
why are you saying that like you never do it?
I used to be a big Milwaukee guy, but now I'm like not enthusiastic to pick the Brewers ever anymore.
They're horrible.
That thrill ended in like 2021.
I mean, the Central.
I didn't think they were going to be good last year, but then it's just like, oh, they're way better than every team in this division. I don't know. I think the Cubs are just like meh. Too.
The Central is just meh. Anyway,
the Central normally is just meh.
And again, like same thing with the AL Central is none of these teams really did anything to really improve themselves that much. Yeah, Kyle Tucker's huge for the Cubs, but then like around that, then what?
Yeah, I mean the Brewers had 93 wins, and then like the Cardinals and Cubs had 83, and then 77, 76 Reds and Pirates.
The Cardinals might be in for a rough couple of years. They haven't been through like a low in a while, but I think they're about to go through a low.
It's one of your favorite teams.
I guess, yeah.
They definitely are. You love the Cardinals.
I don't love the Cardinals, but I like when they're good. It's good for baseball when they're good.
All right. I don't really have anything else. I don't think Sal's here anymore, but
no, I'm back. But yeah, I'm good too.
Yeah, I'm actually starving, so
yeah, I gotta go make dinner.
All right, gents.
All right, gents. It was good talking to you. We'll come back probably in a few weeks, and we'll just dive straight into college basketball.
I was gonna say college ball.
Make the worst bracket of all time, John.
And we'll make the worst bracket ever. We'll make the worst bracket ever. And
I mean, I don't know if we can pick UConn because who knows if they'll be in the tournament.
Antonio, how did you let us take Arizona 2 years ago? Because you hate West Coast teams. Like, why? Yeah, how did we get?
I think too when we when we were doing that the whole time he was saying he hates West Coast teams the whole time. He was telling us, but he wasn't telling us.
I think I came back from. Like I literally went to Arizona like that year or something like that.
Oh wow!
Yeah. And you were thinking you're like, oh, they're gonna win because I went there.
Yeah, I loved it there, so I was like, come on, let's do it.
Antonio's a Florida guy this year.
Oh no, yes.
Or like Alabama.
Dude, Alabama.
Yes,
Auburn,
I knew it, dude.
Top teams.
He loves the SEC.
Like, this is the most Antonio like
When the SEC
Freaking
is good, Antonio's happy.
top 25 rankings I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like when I see Alabama and Auburn number 1 and 2, I'm like, no way, dude.
Auburn
The
being good
Iron
this year
Bowl.
was Auburn being good this year was the best thing that could have happened to Antonio.
Yeah.
They've been good at basketball since like 2018.
Bruce Pearl. It's literally been
But-
since Bruce Pearl's been there.
Oh yeah, dude, he's great.
All right, well,
All right, John.
All right.
next
yeah.
episode we'll get straight into it.
See you
Alaikum
later.
salam.